Hey everyone, my name is Jason Lenny and I'm the product manager for Verify here at GitLab. I'm pre-recording this kickoff content because I've just had a son and so my schedule is a little bit unpredictable, but hopefully this content is valuable in any case. I'll be linking to it from the kickoff document. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or my personal email. Twitter is J4LENN and my work email is jason@gitlab.com. Anyway, on with the content, I'll go ahead and share my screen here so that you can see the features that I'm talking about that we're releasing for Verify. First up is status checking behaviors for pipeline triggers. So triggers is a feature that we've been working on quite a bit recently. We've added cross-project triggering. We've added other nice features that make it easier to manage how pipelines relate to each other in the product. What this introduces is a new strategy around how the triggered pipeline is going to interact with the pipeline that triggers it. So for example, it could just do what it does today, which is to trigger the pipeline and immediately move on. We're also introducing a wait strategy, which will wait for the pipeline to finish before continuing, but then ignore whether it succeeded or failed. It will just move on at that point. And then also a depend strategy, which will check if the pipeline that it triggered succeeded or failed, and only continue if it succeeded. So that's going to give you a lot more control in how you're designing these cross-project pipelines, and hope that it's a valuable feature for many of you. Next up is runtime configuration for visual reviews. Visual reviews is a really cool feature that we just released in our last release, which lets you provide feedback from a review app directly to the merge request. One of the challenges there, though, is that it requires a little bit of configuration to set up. We're taking two main streams and improving that in this release as we mature this feature. First is that we're going to actually be improving the documentation and making it easier to do the runtime configuration. But we're also giving you an option, which is this ticket here, to run everything without even having to really worry about the configuration, just so you can see how it's going to work if you'd like to try it out and see what it can do. So what we're adding is a prompt for the access token to post and a prompt for the merge request ID. So this is some of the info that would come in otherwise through the configuration. But by making it possible to do this without the configuration, we make it really, really easy just to try out this feature and see if you like it, if you want to go ahead and take the time to set it up, and so on. So hopefully more of you have a chance to review that feature. It's one that we're really excited about growing, just because it's really great to be able to tie feedback into the use of the app directly. And it's, like I said, something we're really excited about. Next up is a very popular issue that we're super, super happy to be delivering in this release, and that is the ability to specify variables when running a manual job. A lot of times, well, there's a lot of different cases for manual jobs, of course, but a really important one is to do a deploy or to do some kind of operation on a production or other system. And being able to specify variables when you're doing that will allow you to, on the one hand, enter potentially secure information that only someone at runtime should have, and it can also let you configure the tool, configure the job and how you want that to run. And then also it can give you a little bit more flexibility in testing. So if you set up a job as manual when you're trying to get a new pipeline job working for the first time, this will let you play with the variables in it, so that you can just kind of do that on a loop and see how it works. The way that it will work is through the job page itself. When you're looking at the individual manual job that you want to add values to, is that you can just add the variables here, similar to how it works when you trigger a pipeline. Again, that's a very popular issue and one that we're really, really excited to give everyone access to. So we'd love to hear your feedback. And then lastly, for the ones that I'll talk about now, although as you can see, there are a few other things here that are potentially interesting depending on what you're interested in, is automatic test splitting. So there's a great open source project out there, and there's actually a few, but we've chose test boosters to start, that can take our parallel keyword for a job, which will automatically parallelize it, and split any number of test formats. So the ones that supports are RSpec, Cucumber, Minitest, XUnit, and Go testing. It will split your test suite into the number of parallel jobs that you want to run. This is a pretty cool feature that will just make it a little even easier to split up your tests, maximize execution speed by parallelizing everything as much as possible. So that's it for Verify. Hope to see you on the call where we'll be announcing the rest of the GitLab features in our upcoming release. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. Otherwise, looking forward to hearing your feedback once you're able to check out the release. Thanks in advance. Bye.